Good morning. Now we have a number of issues to deal with this morning. Mr. McDowell, do you want to just go through the program?
Sure. Commissioner, we're going to just briefly review the status of where we are with the production of documents. There is then an issue which has arisen concerning the practice followed by the Mayor's office in the retention of documents. And then, as you know, you've got a motion by Mr. Dober in relation to funding for Peter McCallion. So, very briefly, with respect to the status of productions, we've gotten the equivalent of about 30 banker's boxes of documents from the city, and the city's been good enough to call for us its selection of key documents, which has been quite helpful. And of course, the city has provided us with a great many documents which have come from the other parties at the inquiry. The other parties are not quite as far up the curve. Omers, I'm pleased to say, we had an issue about what would be produced in relation to the WCD settlement. We were able to resolve that issue, and just yesterday we received the key documents in relation to that issue, and those will really help us focus the investigation on that side of the inquiry. And our source is to give us its documents shortly on the other side of the inquiry. There have been some technical issues that have held that up, but we anticipate we'll get those documents fairly shortly. Mr. Jack's client, 156, we're going to get his documents the next couple of days. So, as I said at the other day, at the first day of the inquiry, this is a roving examination for discovery. Our voyage of discovery is going reasonably well. You will hear from one, and perhaps more than one party, that we should be getting on with the inquiry. And of course, we're going to begin on May the 17th, but I just implore all of the council and the parties who are present in court to do what they can to ensure that we have what we need for the investigation between now and then, so that we can begin on that date and proceed. Now, in relation to Mayor McCallion, we had understood that we were getting some documents from her, and you'll hear from Ms. Wynn on behalf of the city on this issue, but we have a concern in that we received correspondence on the 26th of February, which indicated that in a number of areas, the mayor really doesn't retain documents. So Ms. Christensen, who's here, Ms. McIntyre, said, for example, that with respect to electronic correspondence, letters, faxes, emails, once emails are printed off, they are deleted from the system. They aren't archived. The mayor doesn't use email. All emails sent to the mayor's email account are opened and read by the mayor's executive assistant, and are given to the mayor either directly or through a daily mail log. The mayor's office does not keep electronic copies of any emails or responses. Telephone records of incoming telephone calls are kept only in cases where messages are specifically asked to be left for the mayor. The agendas. The mayor is not given an agenda every day. Physical hard copies of the mayor's invitations are kept for a one-year period, and at that point they're destroyed, as there's no need to keep such material. Hard copies of general mail items are kept for a couple of years in storage and then destroyed. So I am not immediately critical of that, but what I do say is that it's a little bit surprising to us as Commission Council, and we're proposing to have some evidence on that issue because it will guide the investigation. So subject to your availability, we would propose to do that next Friday. If you can do that, or we'll find another date the next couple of weeks.
I think next Friday would work.
Right, so next Friday, 10 a.m. in Carol Horvath, I gathered. Is that the right spelling? Horvath, sorry, H-O-R-V-A-T, will be here to address that issue, because I think it's important to find out just what practice has been followed and when the practice came into existence and so on. Now, the substantive issue to be addressed is the question of funding for Mr. Peter McCallion. Perhaps you want to